Welcome to Chatt It Up Sports. We've got the three amigos today. Greg Larnard is away in Central Arkansas at Scottie Pippen Court. Malcolm Harris is
away in Cleveland.
Incapacitated?
Yeah, we'll say not being the best host, but we do have a wonderful punishment for him. I think we're going to make him run suicides.
I like it.
Yes.
We'll video that. Don't worry. That will be recorded. And yeah, we had a wonderful weekend, boys. I'm not going to lie to you. I got to go to Kingsport and watch some NAI basketball and then come home Saturday and watch basketball all day. I don't know if you guys were college basketball aficionados yesterday, but it was
big time.
Wonderful.
All day. It was fantastic. Starting with Baylor and Kansas. It was went into Marquette and Creighton. They had that last night. And then, of course, our Vols and the good old Bama Roll Tides.
Dude, that game was so good.
It was fantastic.
I was worried going in. Bama was, again, they had not lost in their home court. I don't know if they wound up being favorites pre-game, but it was close. Like, that game was supposed to be in the 90s. Tennessee comes out and plays the best defense. Like, people are talking about, hey, 71 and 74, it's not great. When you compare this to the 91.5 points Bama is scoring on the year, that's pretty dang good.
Oh, they're fantastic.
That's good defense.
And I don't even think Dalton had his best game. I mean, he was off that game, right?
Yeah. That's another part too, is when you have somebody so valuable that he sucked, like, in a lot of ways, forcing a lot of stuff, trying to go into the paint, doing those Euro steps. Like, listen, as a bad overall basketball player in the good basketball community, but an okay pickup player, when you stink and you start forcing it, you just start turning it over and you're like, I can do this. Yeah. I know that feeling. I'm like, I can take over a game, and then I turn it over, look legit the next play. I know that feeling. And he was doing that last night. I was like, oh yeah, I've made that dumb step before.
Oh yeah.
I know how that goes.
But dude, I mean, how do you not feel really strong about the Vols going into March? Listen, their last 4 game stretch was not easy, and it's like they're halfway through it. So they started with Auburn to Bama. I think they got South Carolina, then Kentucky. 4 straight ranked opponents. If they can knock out the next 2, at least win one of the next 2, I mean, how do you not feel good with them and being like an actual contender? Because Connect did not have his best game, and guess what? Everyone else stepped up.
Yeah. I don't even think it was like this wonderful game from everybody else. I just thought there was a lot of really big plays. Vescovy came in, made those 2 or 3 big steals, which that's another part.
Ziegler played great.
Oh yeah. But I mean, he only shot 4 for 12 from 3. Like, I mean, that's not bad.
That's 30%, 33%.
It's like not bad, but I mean, some of those you expect to knock them down. But
4 for 3, is that 30%? What am I?
33%.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm a finance guy. You think I would know that?
Quick math.
I don't have my calculator. I always tell people that's like, man, you think I would be good at this, and I'm not.
You don't. Yeah, that's what you're a tools guy.
Yeah.
You need tools.
I need tools.
This thing's falling on me.
Knowing how to adequately use your
tools. But no, man, it's They played great, and I watched that whole game all the way through, and it was not easy because Bama, they had all the momentum and like swings, and even like going into the second half, I was like, man, the first half that was a little nervous going into the second. I mean, maybe they'll turn it on, but like, I mean, for the Vols, but they just battled, man.
Yeah, both teams, those, like you were just talking about, the swings of momentum were wild, especially for a home game at Bama, which. Dude, that stadium is another one that has grown to become one of the most hostile environments. Like I mentioned earlier, they hadn't lost yet at home, and there was a reason. That place was rocking, and the sports celebs were out last night. I don't know if you saw.
I didn't see who was there.
Yeah, well, you had your usuals, Saban and DeBoer. We're seeing chit-chatting.
I did see Kalen. No, not Kalen. Sorry, Milroe.
Milroe was there.
Saban and
yeah.
DeBoer. It was them 2, and I think 2 like coordinators or assistants sitting in.
What do you think was going on in those minds? Like, how do you think they were discussing, or do you think how many little snide comments did Saban make to DeBoer?
I don't know, man. I
you think he's good?
I think he's letting him have it. Like, I think he's just gonna, like, you know what, Kalen, this is your program now. You do what you want to do. I'm here if you need me. I don't think he's gonna sit over his shoulder. And
no, I don't. I think Saban's out. I don't, as far as like his, and he's always going to be a Bama supporter, but as intermingling inside the, he's not even in an advisor capacity role.
Yeah, I don't. He's got an office, but I don't know what he's doing there.
He's there for the donors.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
that's literally
that's what Kay's doing too.
Because they're like some of these donors that are probably on the fence with DeBoer. Or they're like, well, Saban's still here, so and Saban gives his endorsement, so he kind of takes that for DeBoer. It's like, hey, I endorse this guy. I have faith in him. You can continue to give us your money if you.
I mean, Saban's still on the payroll. I mean, he has to be. Yeah, he's not. I mean, he might not be in any capacity for like a coaching perspective, but if he has an office and he's there to take, shake hands, kiss babies mentality. I mean, he's getting slipped a little something, man. He's a forever royalty for Alabama.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how you can kind of like, because I think he still had years in his contract. So I wonder if he like can go spill over and do like that's how he can finish out the pay part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know that part. I don't know if you can like take the advisor role and just be like, oh yeah, we can just finish out your contract here.
Well, he signed the deal with ESPN. So he's the on-desk analyst for College Game Day. So he's getting paid from that. I would imagine they're Alabama was like, hey, we're going to you're getting that money, and his contract had the clause that kept him the highest paid coach in college football. Every time somebody got a raise over him, he got a raise. So I would imagine they dropped that back to like hey, you give like some kind of administrative type.
There was a negotiation for sure. I mean, it wasn't just like, hey, I'm retiring and that's it for my career. I mean, there was some. I wonder if anything else would come out of that. I don't know. Do you think he left completely on his own terms, or do you think something else was out there? Because I mean, he's still involved and around. I don't know, man. If I left my current company, I just don't think I'd be going to the office anymore. I would not be hanging around the office. I mean, I would maybe have some buddies there, but I'm going to go do whatever the heck else besides that.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're going to stay in Tuscaloosa, why not you can? I mean, there's only so much golf you can do, but I mean, he's going to be.
Dude, he's got houses in Florida. I mean, he's all over the place.
I think he's a psycho workaholic.
I think so too. I think he's one of those people that if he stops working, he'll die. And I don't mean that to sound grim, but there's
he's
people
a cyborg.
like that, he's got to have something to do to keep him going. I mean, so he just stays a part of that, and he wants to help college football. I mean, he's come out with those numerous articles where he said, I want to help get the sport in a better direction. So if he stays involved with one of the top 5 programs, that's a way he can kind of.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen the thing on Instagram, or Twitter, or I guess X now? But that was like, hey, what was that bar that fixed the bar show?
Bar rescue.
Bar rescue. But Saban goes off and like he joins a high school team or
that
like
would be so awesome.
Or like a D3 college football team and like for a week and just fixes it up. It's like that would be fantastic. That is ESPN Plus written all over it.
Oh, he's gonna revive what was that series? Last Chance U. You just bring that back, and
that
it's
would
Saban,
be,
and it's instead of fixing players and players that like pissed away their opportunities, you have him fixing coaches. I mean, he's already been rehabbing coaches. The tree is deep. Coaches that have gone in there, fixed their career, went back out. I mean, now he's just a Netflix star. Last Chance U with Saban.
I mean, also too, how crazy is it? College Game Day is becoming what it is, where they're like, we're just going to put the best personalities possible on this. Like Saban's going to bring a different. He's not Pat McAfee, but he's definitely going to do something where it's going to be very interesting to watch how this guy operates.
I see some eye rolls, a lot of eye rolls from Nick Saban sitting next to McAfee.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God.
I can't believe this.
But like, hey, do you like every bet or game or whatever comes out of his mouth, anything that he puts out there? Do you think that, you just go with it?
Oh, if he told me he watched 12 seconds of film on this team, I'm like, lay it down, baby.
Yeah.
Lay it down.
Any game that he said, like, I think this team will win over the other one, I'm like, you got it, buddy.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And that would be, I wouldn't even question it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like to know too, like last night was it was a spectacle, to be honest. Like that was a huge game. I bet they got some pretty dang good numbers. I think you're right on the donor package to go a little bit back to basketball. I bet that he's sitting out there just wheeling and dealing for Bama.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a business guy now. I'm just the fundraiser.
And he's always been good at that.
Yeah.
As much as he is a football coach, he is as much as a personality and a media guy. I mean, he loves going out there and just hustling for extra attention and money.
Yeah, I always kind of learning a little bit about that world now. I would be so intrigued to just walk up to a donor and be like, all right, so this is the facility that I want. It is going to cost you $20 million. Like, what a conversation to have. Like, I need you to donate $20 million to our school so our guys could lift weights. I mean, let's to the basis of it. Obviously, it's a recruiting tool. It does all the things. But in essence,
yeah,
it's, hey, pay for this $20 million facility so he can clank some weights that probably got refurbished like 2 years ago.
Do you think he's got like just a Rolodex of all of his ex-players who played in the pros and just says like, hey, you know, Derrick Henry, you need tax deductions.
Yeah.
Come back, come give it to us.
Yeah.
I bet you, man. I bet you there are so many players he hits up and just like, hey, man, you know, we need an extra like 10 G's here. Like, I know you need the tax deduction.
Yeah.
You're welcome for getting you there, big guy.
Or, I mean, and also like there's so many guys that are probably relatively close enough in age where if it's a rookie contract, say, hey, I'll pay for the boys. Whoa.
Oh,
ninja kick. I'll pay for the boys' road trip. You know, there's probably a lot of those. Like, I got the meal tonight.
Yeah.
You know, that's got to be pretty sweet. To like have, you know, especially if they're up in Vandy, you know, Henry's like, hey, I got you guys tonight. Or somebody that maybe was like just a part of it. They're like, this will be pretty sweet. So yeah, that's probably a great call. It's just that Rolodex.
It's a Rolodex of folks, man. And I don't know, back to basketball. I know we got off on a Saban train there, but do you think so? Of the SEC teams we have out there, I know we talk a lot about the Vols. We talk a lot about you know, local teams around here, but who out of the SEC do you think has a run in this thing?
The top five, like all five legit have a chance.
So who's in the top five right now?
Are you talking from a SEC tournament perspective or a full tournament?
Forget SEC tournament.
Okay.
Let's go.
Go full March. We got the Vols. I think the Vols are a Final Four contender, and that's without a doubt.
Those are your number one. That's your number one, whatever odds Final Four team out of the SEC.
Yeah. Which the way you guys talk, I didn't get to see the game, unfortunately, but the way you guys talked about, was it Dalton? How do you say his last name?
Connect.
It's
like connecting.
He's by far and away your best player, right?
I think he's the Wooden Award winner this year.
Yeah, he's probably the best player in college.
If you can win without him, obviously you've kind of proven your team can win in multiple ways.
That's the biggest thing. Like Adu, he had a big moments. I can't say he had a great game, but big moments. Ziegler had big moments. I think that's what you're right. That not everyone had a great game, but they could step up in the right moments. And that's all what March is.
Yeah. That's it. Like we have guys like Gainey last night, did not play his best game, but hits a big three when we need it.
Mm-hmm.
Josiah Jordan James, big threes after big threes after big three. Like he played really, really well. After that, I mean, Bama, because they can just score. They can flat out score the basketball. Like I just think Tennessee's just a bad matchup for them. I think it's just a bad overall matchup for them. And Tennessee can play defense and lock up, and they've got some size. And now South Carolina, without some whistles, probably wins that game.
I told y'all a couple weeks ago that the two teams I said, hey, they're going to get one game. It's South Carolina and Nebraska. They're going to win one game.
Yeah.
They are not one and dones.
Like, it's not a dark horse, but they're the fifth or sixth team, however you want to look at it now. But a team like Florida, and I say this because they're probably one of the most physical teams in the SEC. They're big, man. And size will matter in the right situation. If they could crush teams on the offensive boards, like those finesse teams that you see a lot of, you're going to have some big troubles with Florida. Like, I don't know where they're at right now. I didn't see Lenardi's new one today, but you're probably looking at, they're secure in the top 25. So they're probably 5, 6, 7. So that second round matchup for somebody is going to be a nightmare, dude.
Oh yeah.
A nightmare. Cause every single play, your bigs are getting hit right in the chest, or they're getting offensive rebounds every single play, and that's going to be so frustrating. But then Auburn, I love Bruce. Bruce does well in March.
Yeah. Well, let's see. He went to the Final Four, what, Has he been in the Final Four?
Mhm.
No, like last year, right?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And then he just does well in the SEC tournament, won it back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Like those kind of, and these teams, this team's not as good. Like it's a good team, don't get me wrong, but it's not as good as that Final Four team. But still, like he's made runs as a lesser seed or maybe even more.
You know what I love is that we've just listed off a ton of teams, and Kentucky has not come yet out of our mouths.
I never know what they are.
I feel like they're a pretender all the way this year. I think they're a pretender, big time.
I say that, and then
Like
they'll
first
go out
round
and-
exit.
I don't think it's a first round exit, but I just don't see them competing. I think that they could easily lose to a Gonzaga. I think that they could lose to even a Nebraska, because there's something about that team that they lack some grit. I don't know. They have that one guy. What's his name?
Reed Shepherd, baby.
He's a beast.
He's a dog,
he's
baby.
so good. But I don't think he has the leadership skills. Like to
He's
pull
a
that.
freshman.
I know. I mean, that's your best players, a freshman. They don't have leadership capability.
Mhm.
It
Have you
worked.
seen this kid?
No, I haven't.
Beast, dude. I mean, he's so good.
I've heard about it.
Okay,
but-
he looks like the back of this Sasquatch. Like he's about that tall.
Yeah.
Probably maybe the best on-ball defender in college basketball.
Oh, as a
Yeah.
freshman?
Short white freshman. Let's just
Okay.
be honest. Like
All right,
short
all
little
right.
white freshman, looks like a frat bro. Like coming in here, he was like, if I get some
Yeah.
playing time, hopefully I can hit a
Yeah.
three for the guys. No, he's a dog.
How short we? Because short for college basketball is like what 6'3".
Yeah, you
6'4"?
pointed at a 2 foot tall, like cardboard cutout. He's that guy. That's not even
He's
helpful.
tiny.
He's 6'3".
He's okay, so I mean, yeah, that's
6'2", 6'2",
6'3", right? So
Yeah.
it's considered small.
But like whenever he's
smaller.
out on the court, it's smaller.
Yeah.
It is smaller for. I guess he's now he's kind of come into his own as a point guard a little bit more.
Mhm.
You know how it is. It's college basketball. It's a lot of combo guard stuff. But Reed's so good. He's such a good defender. I think he's probably I guess what is it? How they listed like basically the best pound for pound
Yeah,
on ball steal guy.
Reeves is the best player on the team, in my opinion.
What's Kentucky projected like a 8, 9, 10 seed, something like that? Probably.
Well, they're ranked
The way
20 or
5.
18 or 20,
18
so
or
they would
20.
be probably a 4 to 5 seed
A 4 to 5.
if they, depends how they finish.
Yeah. Well, they got what 2 games left. Let's see.
Yeah, there's only 2 games left. So of what we have, so SEC, I think if I had to pick one team to go, I mean, all the way, if there was a year for Tennessee and Rick Barnes, who has won 800 games in his career as a collegiate head coach, this is the team.
Yeah.
This has to be it, man.
This has to be. I mean, what other Tennessee has never been a number 1 ranked seed in the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
This is got to be the year.
So Kentucky plays Vanderbilt, and then their last game is at Tennessee. They finish the
Yes,
season.
it's at Tennessee.
So
That's
that
correct.
game is huge because if Tennessee loses, they could lose that number 1 seed potentially.
Potentially. Because this is going to be a battle because, you're looking at Arizona. They could falter out. I think the top 3 are set. I know our boy.
Who's our top 3? So we got Houston,
UConn, and Purdue, maybe.
Yeah.
I think
Those 3 are sealed.
Houston is my first team to lose.
You think they're the first 1 seed out?
The first 1 seed out. I've watched them and that they barely beat Oklahoma last night.
Mhm.
They barely beat Oklahoma. They barely beat a lot of teams. Baylor, not the strongest Baylor Bear team running around since Scott Drew has really started to become more of a powerhouse. And man, we took Houston right down to overtime. I mean,
Really?
they're always putting themselves in sticky situations, and I just don't see how. Hey, you know me, I'm the Big 12 guy of our group.
Yeah,
so I know it more than anyone else.
You
So
gotta carry the water for the Big 12.
so I mean, I just think that they're my number 1 to first team to get out.
Okay.
Who's a 1 seed?
You think that's going to be like a round of 32, Sweet 16? How deep you think Houston goes? Depending on, of course, they could get favorable matchups. So
it's hard to say. It's hard to see. I told you,
Dude,
man,
yeah,
this
that
thing,
little thing. Yeah,
this little thing. Look at this. It just.
So is it an insulated cup?
I don't know. My wife got it as a recruiting thing.
Oh,
See, it just comes right out.
That's what you get for getting free stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
There's
golly.
always a falter. Like
I'm not showing the company name, but like, hey, you're gonna have
do better.
some wet freaking tables if you join that company. So,
are they in bed with like a paper towel company?
I hope so, man. I hope that they're doing something. This is a little bit of
Yeah, there's got to be a little something there.
a little spill and I don't know, deal.
Whenever our
spill deal.
inevitably spills over.
I got the
just
list
like
here of seeds. Okay, so right now, as of today, Tennessee will be the top 2 seed. Okay, and then we have Bama as the last 3 seed. Auburn and Kentucky are projected as 4 seeds. and then Florida is a 7 seed. Those are your locks.
And 7 seeds typically do pretty well. But no, it's the 11 seed. It's the 11 seed who like somehow always makes it to like the Sweet 16.
The play-in 11 seed.
Yeah.
But it's always like Syracuse. It's just they're big and they've got this zone and it looks weird to people that haven't been playing against all year. And you're like, well, the 11 seed is like, well, you got the weird team that did it. They shouldn't even got in, but it happens. But there's going to be some more. Like the SEC is so low. It's by far the best conference in basketball.
No, that's not even true. Big 12 by far is the Big 12 is the best basketball conference
as a whole. Like, are we talking about
as a whole
just this year?
As a whole.
You know, the Big 12 has been the best basketball conference by far.
We've had 6 teams ranked all year, pretty much.
I'd say that.
How many do we have?
4
overall. I would say the Big 12, but for this year, I would say maybe it's the SEC.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing a rolling projection of like what's been the most consistent conference for the last 10 years, it's probably the Big 12.
And the problem with the Big 12 is that everyone beats each other. Like, so Kansas is ranked what, 7?
Frauds.
They are frauds this year, big time. I do agree. But they're ranked 7, and they've lost 6 games in conference play. Houston, they've lost 3 games in conference play. They are the number 1 overall seed. Like they are, even with these losses, if you had that in any other conference, you are not even in the top 10, not even close. So, man, I'm sorry, man. I can't give that to you, Chase. I can't give it to you this year, man. I can't give that to you.
So we got Houston, Kansas.
Iowa State is nice.
But they're not even
Baylor, BYU. They're all ranked.
BYU's outside the top 25.
They were ranked most of the year. I've been watching them.
Yeah, them, TCU, Texas Tech have all fallen out.
It's because they keep beating each other. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's beating each other. That's my point. But yeah,
it's the same thing. I just think with the top talent, I mean, I just really think that Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, I think they could play with anybody.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody. I don't see a Big Ten team winning it. I don't even see a Pac-12 team winning it.
I know
maybe Arizona, but
yeah, God,
I just don't trust
I'll be honest.
them.
I don't think when this version of Caleb Love, if he's leading your team, you're not going to win. I watched him for 4 years or 3 years. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that Arizona team's the flimsiest 1 seed as of right now. I think that's going to change after Tennessee wins. That's all going to come out tomorrow. But Tennessee will probably move up to a 1 and should, especially if they kind of run through. We saw last year that the SEC tournament or whatever, it matters. You need to make it. It
doesn't really matter.
You need to make it far enough. You can't have this big flop of a loss to, somebody that's on the boat. Like you can't have a flop of a loss to Mississippi State. You can't do that. You can't go lose by 30. That'll affect you. That'll move you down, especially when you're somebody. But if you make it to the semis and you lose a close game to Kentucky,
they don't care. Yeah, you're still in. Like,
you're still in.
Those tournaments are for, like what you said, it's for the teams trying to really like improve their seeding.
Yeah.
It really doesn't hurt your seeding. It only really is there to help your seeding.
Yeah. You have to really flop to hurt yourself. Like if Houston lost by 35 in the first round, they're going from the top 1 seed to the third 1 seed. It's not going to change your variability that much. But teams like Arizona, if they stink, they're definitely out as a 1 seed. Yeah. And if Tennessee does well, they're in. So it's just one of those. It depends on where you're at. And there's going to be some teams this year that, Carolina Dukes, this is going to be a monster matchup on Saturday. Like that could depend on a 2 seed for them. Like this is going to be a big run through for a lot of these top end teams now. And we got big boy college basketball.
Is that one in Cameron Indoor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Duke wins that one, man.
Yeah. I really hope Kyle Filipowski's soreness got better after his dunk this week.
Yeah, did you see that? Dude. I'm a Duke fan, and I roll my eyes right now at the current, culture at Duke. I don't know.
It's the most Duke thing ever.
It really is. And I hate it because, Coach K is such a hard ass. And I like John Shire. He was great on the 2010 championship team. Big fan.
Dog.
But, man.
But dude, you can't get carried about by 4 guys, know?
Golly.
And then he throws down a windmill dunk yesterday. I was like, yeah. I'm so glad he's okay.
Yeah. Clearly,
that ankle soreness, knee, back, whatever. It changed every day.
the
And,
season was in jeopardy. I mean,
season was
he
in
had to get
jeopardy.
carried off.
Yeah, he was just. I think he was a sore, salty little loser at Wake Forest, and that's all it was.
Now, I do love that he checked that kid. He gave him a good shove.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that was fun to watch. Because I'm not a huge Wake guy either, so they can kick rocks.
who's really a big Wake guy? You know, like
I do have a good friend of mine that went to Wake Forest Law School. And he reps them pretty hard. Like it's a niche community.
it has to be.
It's a very niche community because you talk about getting drowned out. You are the fourth fan base in that whole area.
Yeah, because you got Duke, North Carolina State, and then you just got little Wake Forest.
Wake. And listen, man, Winston-Salem ain't the prettiest cities.
No,
It ain't the prettiest cities.
I guess Wake Forest is more of a baseball school.
Yeah, they have become that.
Yeah, that's all it really is.
They were incredible last year. Baseball.
Yeah. Oh my
It was
god.
like the long-haired pitcher, Rhett.
And they're still good this year. They're still great this year.
They got ours. They got Chase.
Oh,
So,
dude, by the way, speaking of baseball, did you guys see the I know you didn't see it, so not even know why I'm asking that, but the Texas State-Texas game?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man. So Texas State upsets Texas at the Minute Maid at Minute Maid.
Classic, yeah.
And this guy, I don't even know his name. He's on the Texas State, and he's blowing a gum bubble, like a bubblicious bubble, and hits a home run to tie the game.
Oh yeah, yeah. We just
sent that to you guys.
Yeah, I watched that earlier. Yeah, I was like, wait.
I have never seen a cooler like photo in my entire freaking life. And Texas State, man, it's a little school out in San Marcos. I mean, it's not a little, it's like the #1 party school in Texas, by the way.
Is it really?
In San Marcos, yeah.
I was wondering, they also have a humongous donation coming in for them getting some facilities. I don't know if you guys saw that on like Front Office does a great job. Like Front Office Sports is one of my favorite accounts because it shows you all like the business side of investment.
Yeah, you post a lot of that on LinkedIn. I keep up with all my stuff because you follow it.
Love that kind of stuff and just learning that world. And so Texas State, shout out party school,
dude. I mean, Texas big party school. My little sister went to school there, and I used to go drive down from Baylor to go see her and hang out and party. And I'll never forget we went and saw Afro Man.
Oh god,
Afro Man! It's like one of those college parties.
Yeah,
it was
dude,
like
so perfect.
It was Afro Man, and he's got Colt 45, man. Like
there's some bangers. There's definitely some bangers.
Yeah, dude, he was hitting it, man. And like Mike Buddy, like went on stage and rapped with them because it was just like, hey, we're paying you, let me on there. And he's like, yeah, you got a good point. So yeah, dude, I had some fun times at San Marcos, man.
I hate how. I mean, is San Marcos, is that the one next to the beach? Is that what I'm thinking of?
No. San Marcos is like 45 minutes. Not even far. Like south. It's in between San Antonio and Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's more like in the hill country kind of vibes.
What am I thinking of? What's the vacation spot everybody goes to in Texas? That's down south. Galveston? No.
I mean Galveston, but you don't really go to Galveston unless you have to go to Galveston.
Let's pull up the old Google Maps here for me.
While you're pulling that up, Texas State picked up a transfer in the football from JMU's starting quarterback.
Oh, really?
Madison's Jordan McLeod. He was highly touted. A couple of D1 programs wanted him. He ended up going to Texas State.
Texas State beat Baylor last year, and they had them. I mean, I'm telling, like, that's not a school. That's a small school that you don't want to like that would do well in its league, you know. And they're finally getting to that point. But I don't know. It was just funny. I was just like, man, I was watching that. I was like, this kid is literally blowing a bubblicious bottle like Stripe, man. Freaking hitting bombs off of this Texas Longhorns guy in Houston's biggest arena. No, not biggest, but Houston's World Series winning arena. Ooh, girl,
that's awesome.
Everything bigger and better in Texas, I'll tell you.
They're gonna make it that way. I mean, especially with baseball. That was cool though, getting to watch that Minute Maid Park, not paying $30 for that. So yeah, Tennessee baseball did well this weekend against Bowling Green. Shout out. There's our baseball stint for the day. I do want to ask you guys a question since the NFL Combine was this week. So I want to maybe make a collective effort here. If we could combine ourselves against the worst scores, whether that be the slowest 40, the weakest bench press, the shortest vertical, I don't know like my broad jump or my shuttle drill, so I think we can eliminate those unless you
Yeah,
guys
no.
have you guys recently done a
No.
3-cone drill?
I can't tell you. I've recently run 40 yards of freaking anything. I can't even tell you if I run 10 yards of anything. So
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how this. I mean, I can tell you that I threw a baseball at Dave and Buster's and they clocked me in at 70 miles an hour.
Dude, what a
Hell yeah.
freaking cannon!
Yeah,
Dude, if you
girl,
get
I'll
the
tell you,
sevens,
hey, you know this is not just for the ladies, man. This is for the
Put in some
DMB coupons and the little tickets.
dude, that's not just for show. That's for the dough.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Wow. All right.
The real life rookie, man. You gonna start?
I am, man. Listen, rookie of the year. That's right. Put me in the Cubs.
All right, rookie of the year. The slowest 40 time today was set by Mr. Jeremy Flax, an offensive tackle out of Kentucky.
Okay.
Could you guys run a sub 5.64 40 right now?
Like right now.
Right
like
now.
Off the rip.
I'll give you like a 10-minute warm up.
10-minute warm up.
I'll give you 5 minutes.
What? Okay. Do I get a trial run?
No, I gotta give you one.
It's just one take. One and
One
done.
take.
Wait, they get 2 takes, don't
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do the
two.
we'll do the 2 takes. Like we have to go out there around the 40.
What do you get? 5? You said 5.6?
5.64.
5.64. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I think I could get that. I was quick in high school. I mean, I know it's been a long time, but
Yeah,
I think I could get 5. I think I could get 5.6.
back
Not
in
on the
high
first
school,
run.
but
Yeah.
back in high school.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
How far removed are you from high school? I don't even know how old you are.
10 years.
10 years. So you're 28 years old.
I'm 29.
You're See, you're lying to me already. I already know that this
I
guy
just
can't
turned-
run a
just turned
5.6.
I
Did you get held back here?
No.
Okay.
I think I could, man.
I think I could go sub 5.6.
I think I could go sub 5.6.
Girl.
With having two trial
BS.
runs,
No way, man.
I could definitely go sub 5.6. Now I was looking here. I don't know if the next one was a 5.5, 5.4. I was like, that's getting close. I mean, I do run quite a bit.
You run a lot more. I mean, you're throwing me in between 6 and 7. Like that's my 40 right now.
Mhm.
Getting off the couch, just made cookies with my wife. Yeah, I'm running like 6, 7. Like,
Yeah. That's the thing is like, if people talk about running like sub 5s right now, I don't think people understand how hard that is.
I don't think people understand how fast you're moving.
Yeah.
Well, who was
as a 35, like the 32 to 35-year-old man, that's hard.
That's really hard. I mean,
Yeah.
the top runner was what, 4.2?
Xavier Worthy ran a 4.22.
4.22. That was like fastest ever, right?
He broke John Ross's record.
So
John
you're
Ross out of
saying-
Washington ran a 4.23 in 2017. I think.
1.4 seconds is the difference between the worst and then the best of
All time.
all time.
Yep.
Of all time.
1.4 seconds.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
All right,
You're Nate Wiggins here at Clemson's corner, and you're like, dude, I just ran a 4.28, and then this Xavier Worthy drops 4.21.
I mean, how big is that difference though? Like in like actual impact? Like, do the coaches say like, that 0.4 seconds, it's going to change my draft perspective?
All right, I got one for you. So I saw this today. They did the McCaffrey brothers.
Mhm.
Did you guys see Christian's little brother?
Yeah, random.
He's,
Point one faster, 0.2
Dylan,
faster.
right? The one
Yeah.
from is that the one from Michigan or the
Utah-
one that's
Utah
yeah,
State.
Utah State.
Wide receiver from Utah State. I think he was 0.1 something faster. And it was like a body length because they do the holograph behind him, and it looked like he was like his body was right behind his. So that's what like a width, a body width, is what it is. That's probably like 0.1 or maybe a little bit less, than a body width. Broad chested Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's just shorter than me. I'm basically the same athlete.
Got the same jawline, so I'm proud of
Yeah.
that.
So that's my wife tells me I look like Christian McCaffrey, and then she sees him with a shirt off, and she's like, not the same.
Yeah. No, I mean, he is.
I was like, well, at 18 when I was a psycho about it, we talked about it.
He's also, but you're number one in our hearts. Though.
Thanks, man. And then I recently watched like a Instagram reel of like him doing those like the skip drills, and you're like, how is a man this light on his feet? Those things are what show me how far removed I am from any sort of athlete, like any sort of good athlete. It's like, oh, how are you that light? I mean, I can't even do that jump rope, dog. How are you doing this like on skips and sprints? And anyways, so we Do you don't think you can go 5'6"?
Right now, no. I'll just be completely honest now.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
Do you think G or Miggy could go sub 5'6"?
but to find out with me when he does these suicides.
That's our point. That's no. Instead of the suicides, he has to run 240s.
No, he's going to do all of it. Yeah, we're going to make him do both.
What if he does? If he doesn't get the 5'6", then he has to run the. 6.
I know G couldn't do it. His back is like.
Oh yeah, he ain't making it to 30.
His back built like an old woman, man.
You gotta bend over, and you get in that weird, awkward start, and that's where all your time comes from. Is how fast you get out.
Yeah.
That's where you're really making those dollars. That's what the difference in 4.2 or 4.42 and
it's all separation.
Yeah,
and I understand what they're doing. It's all separation, but like I don't know. I feel like I would take a guy who runs a better route, has better route track records than and is a slightly bit slower than a guy who's faster.
Oh, 100%.
I think there's. I mean, it gives you an idea, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it really make or breaks your draft stock.
The only thing, what I think it does in my mind, I could be totally wrong. There's a reason I'm not a NFL GM or a scout, but I do think it's like, oh, that guy could be our burner.
Yeah.
Like that guy could be our burner. Maybe you don't have him on your radar as much, but you're like, oh my gosh.
It's like a chess
piece.
Like a Jameson Williams for the Lions. Like this year, you didn't see him much as far as just a deep, like it was all Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the 49ers game, they catch him on an end around and he's gone. He's moving. So, Xavier Worthy, a guy that's like that, I think if you're going to rate practicality for a 4.22, he's 5'11", so he's probably going to be an interior receiver, maybe a slot guy. You're going to hit him on screens. How fast can he catch and get out?
Yeah.
That's where you're building that basis from.
Okay.
Well, his explosive power is pretty incredible. He also had a 41-inch vertical.
My God.
The highest vertical, this is unbelievable, 42.5 inches.
I did have a 38-inch vertical in high school.
Dear God.
I did have that.
You had some bounce.
I had some bounce back in the day. I just had very short arms, and I'm 5'11", but I did have a 38-inch vertical, and can I do that today? No, but the fact that I wonder what that would put me on here.
You'd be floating in the middle. Like, I may have to call you out on that. I don't think you have the same vertical as Roma Dunze.
No, I know I did. I'm telling you. That's
Jalen Wright had 38.
I had
Keon Coleman.
This is done in the closet of our basketball, high school basketball thing.
But you're still in the third. Like no matter what, you're in the mid 30s.
Mid 30s. Like so, I give me 36 then. But I remember that number because my other teammates who could dunk would be like, that's BS.
Yeah.
But I was like, listen, my arms are short, man. Yeah. Like I can't dunk.
Roma Dunze is also 6'3".
Yeah.
So that kind of helps.
Well, they don't. They do it by like they'll get your reach.
Like from a baseline, he's got
yeah. You do that and then you jump. But I'm just saying.
Well, 326 pounder senior at a Texas A&M defensive tackle McKinley Jackson had the worst vertical at 23 inches.
I could beat that.
That's not even 2 feet.
I could beat that.
I think I could get that. I think I could get 23.
I mean, he ain't.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I'm gonna be real close. I like
23. You could get that.
No, so here's why I can go because I have been able to dunk before in my life. But the other day I was playing ball and I like went up for a rebound and I get so nervous in my head because it hurts a little bit now. On these old knees.
Yeah.
At 235, 240, it don't feel good. So like my body will just be like, we ain't gonna put a whole lot of effort into this. No. It'll just tell me no. Like, you can go for that rebound, but you might not come back.
Well,
so, but I think we're definitely, I think I get, in the 24, 25 range. I think I'm outside I'm not in the bottom 5.
And how heavy was he again?
326.
Okay. I mean, he's weighing himself down there. I mean, I don't care how big your bones are and your legs. I mean,
but these are different level athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 300-pound guys running 4.9s.
I can tell you right now, that dude is 1.5 times my size. I mean, I can definitely get at least 24 inches because I have less to kick up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think we can get that. All right. G or Miggy? We can trash them all we want to.
Especially Miggy, dude.
Could he make the drive back from Cleveland today, dog?
I hope he's listening to us, as I know he is.
You're gonna hear this on Monday.
Maybe.
I want him to. We need to drop this immediately Monday morning, so when he's driving into work, he listen to this.
Miggy, dude. Okay, I would say this. Miggy, we played 21 with him.
Mm-hmm.
Is he an athlete?
He was better than I actually thought he was going to be.
I thought he was too. But I'm
he
saying
was better than I thought he was going to be.
Okay. But can he? He just a little little punchline on Mig, not even punchline, but like that dude's got musical talent. Like he's a musician.
Okay,
he's a musician.
Around.
Yeah. I don't know if Miggy could do it.
I don't think Miggy, I love you, but I don't know.
I love him to death, man. He's the next mayor of Chattanooga, and he'll charm your pants off.
But
I don't know.
He'll charm that vertical leap.
He ain't charging 23 inches, man. Off his feet. I'm a hater, man. I'm such a hater. I'm sorry, man.
We love you, man. We got to be realistic about our boy.
Yeah.
And
if he wants to prove me wrong, we'll see him this week.
We're gonna listen.
Dude.
This is the whole thing we're gonna do is we're gonna test all of this on him as his punishment.
Just put him through the whole combine. Maybe not the L cone and stuff because we don't want somebody to tear ACL. But
we've got some contacts with UTC. We surely can get some of this stuff available.
Yeah, we need a field for what? 2 hours? An hour?
Nah, I mean, I trust me. 15 minutes, we'll know exactly what these scores are.
Yeah.
We'll take one and project the rest.
Yeah. 15 minutes is all we need.
I do feel like I'd be pretty. I mean, despite what we all think, I think we'd all be really disappointed in some of our scores.
Oh yeah, I don't even want to do this, dude.
I would not want to do that.
I'd set my mind on getting one of them, and then the rest of them, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm not. Like,
my wife would be like, Garrett, what are you doing in the garage at like 12 at night? It's like, listen, I got this Chatt It Up sports combine coming up, and I'm not about to get embarrassed here.
That would be a good way to set. Like if you and your buddies do a fantasy league, that'd be a good way to set draft order.
Those are my favorite. Have you seen some of those? There's like some of them have like competitions. They'll do it's combine-ish.
Yeah.
But they'll include like a relay where you have to like do a cornhole shot and a basketball shot. Then you have to run the 40, and it has to be, it's like this combination run, and then they'll have to you have to bench press at least 135 X amount of time. Like it would be pretty impressive.
You know who we are? We're like the beer Olympics. I bet you we could with the best of them. You want me to chug a beer and run around a bat on my head on the ground, and you run somewhere? I bet you I'll beat you.
Yeah.
I bet you I'll beat you and give me a good shot at beating you at beer pong. We are lawn sports.
Yeah,
athletes.
Yeah. Good, but pretty good lawn sport athletes.
I think we're fantastic lawn sport athletes.
Yeah, like I can still go play pickup, but I'm not going to be top end like I used to be.
No,
we're not. I'm just a solid role player. That probably doesn't need to play more than 3 games.
Not professional, but respectable.
Yeah.
Listen. Yeah. This guy, I've never seen him, underhand a softball, but hell, I've seen this man hit some buckets with a little cornhole bag in his hand.
Yeah,
that's a little fun anyway.
I mean, he busts a beanbag with the best of them.
Yeah, dude. I love tailgate. I'll tell you that.
That's where our talent is. We're the best tailgaters out you ever seen.
Well, I'll tailgate anybody.
I'll tailgate all of y'all. That's the competition that we need to be putting out there.
Texas forever. All right. Does anybody have any idea what a broad jump would be? I don't even know.
Oh, dude.
Broad jump.
Do we think we could get okay? So the worst one was, man, white dude's really falling off on this one.
Yeah, I could tell you that. I could tell you that.
Well, also it's shout out to the Big 10, bottom 2 here. Oh no, Big 12. Sorry, this is Oklahoma and TCU. Andrew Coker at a TCU had a 7'10" broad jump.
So he jumped 7 feet 10 inches. Is that what you're saying?
Is the broad jump the one with the running start, or do you?
No,
you're like flat.
Oh, he's not. I think they had the wrong picture on the other one. This one's he's not a white dude. Look like a Samoan fella, but anyway, he is 315 pounds at 6'7". Not exactly built for the broad jump.
No,
I see, but can we beat those guys? I'm saying but how tall is he?
6'7".
6'7", 380.
My God,
315.
315.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's
that's big, man.
I would have a hard time getting off the couch at that size.
Yeah.
That's big. Let's see what the other one. So, I can't remember how to say this guy's last name. Edgy Rhyme, I think is his name. Raym. 6'4", 314. He jumped 7'11". And he had a 5'4",
I feel like if we had a ruler right now, we could probably test this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the length of
7'11".
How long is this table?
It's probably 6 foot, maybe.
Flat-footed.
All
You
right.
gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it.
All right.
We're gonna do this live.
Let's just do it live.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll do it live.
Screw it.
All
We'll do it
right.
live.
6 feet.
Yeah. So
I think it's
Move that table.
actually.
Yeah.
So
Just,
I'm doing kind of diagonally here.
yeah. So watch the cable
right here.
and we'll just kind of from the end of that table. That's pretty much 6 feet.
I mean, me not.
That's close.
Me just getting.
No, yeah, you're not on
maybe
ground.
with the
practice,
wife,
yeah.
6 feet.
Yeah, being mindful of like
Maybe
cable.
So you need 2 more feet.
So he jumped what 7'10", you said?
Yeah.
So I need 2 more feet.
My God.
You think if I were like trained for that and like, I mean, that's the most I've
Well,
jumped since
I think what,
I might have been 20
there's a big factor when you're on hard ground for these broad jumps is like your impact. You're like worried about it, so you don't jump. Like these guys are landing on grass or on sand.
Yeah.
and they're stretched out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
can you get
And
2
they get-
more feet at your optimal level?
I mean, I kind of pulled a little bit of some on my arm there. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to generate that energy. I was like,
was like,
that kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah. You need if you got a little loose, could you go at it?
An extra foot.
2 feet,
Extra
big
2
dog.
feet.
You
I
gotta
mean,
get 2
Yeah,
feet.
because we'll just round you off and say you jumped 6 feet. So he jumped a foot and 10 inches further than that.
Yeah. But he's taller, I mean, really, what's the ratio difference there?
He's taller.
If he's a whole foot
Over
taller than me and he
300
did 2, I'd technically jump just as far as he did as a 5'11" guy.
Fair.
So you're what? So am I the same? Yeah, I'm the same athlete as him.
That's what I want to test. I don't know if I don't know if I can do it.
I don't
No.
think so. I don't think I could either.
So
No.
I think I'd get
whenever
6 foot.
you walked over there, I was like, that's a lot further than I thought. When you start thinking about 8 feet's a long way.
Yeah.
8 feet's a long way.
I mean,
It's a lot of distance.
I'm glad we did it. Well, at least we learned something today. Like that's an actual one that we are not just guessing on. We can't do that one.
Yeah.
It shows. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say no.
All right. Let's do this will be our last one for this. Can you guys get 11 reps on a 225 pound bench press?
Hell no. I will forfeit myself there now. Hell no.
Okay, hold on. How about this? The answer, we all know this. You could maybe.
I can get it.
I think
You could definitely do it. I mean, this guy actually does
Yeah.
physically work out all the time.
The most I've ever done was 27.
So 20. That's what I'm wondering. So the most
But I'm not that I am nowhere near that strong now.
in my prime, back when I was like in high school, working out more than anything else. I think I got to like 15.
I was thinking about this. I hardly ever bench anymore. And if I was like just one time, I don't know if I get 15 right now.
I don't even think I know. I'm lying, dude. I didn't get 15. I think I got to 10. I think it was 10. It wasn't 15. I don't know why I said 15.
I think right now, maybe if we got juiced up, took a bunch of pre-workout, but right now in my mind, I'm thinking like
dry scoops.
12. I think I'm barely finishing above that. Me and Frank Gore Jr., same athlete, 12 reps.
Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah, Frank.
Got
I want to
12?
feel old.
Isn't he a running back?
Yeah, dog.
He only had 12.
Yeah.
Dude, Mike McConkey got 13.
Dude, Frank Gore was like a bowling ball in himself. Is his son not the same way?
He played at Southern Miss, right?
Yeah.
That's
A lot of
surprising
corners
for me.
above old Frank Gore.
Yeah, for a running back, I would think you got to get at least 20.
What was the most?
I'll let you guess. D tackle out of LSU.
34.
I mean, you're talking 34.
That's what I'm saying. 34.
All right, I'm gonna
Was it Mason
say.
Smith?
Are we? I would say. Give me 40.
34 is right.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
Jordan Jefferson out of
Jordan Jefferson from
Yeah.
LSU. How many did Mason Smith do?
Mason
declare?
Smith. No.
I don't know if he declared.
Hey, shout out
he
to
might have
running-
an extra year.
Shout out to them running backs, dog. Blake Corum put up 27.
Damn.
Ooh,
He's
That
stout,
boy's
though,
strong.
man.
dude, he
like-
is strong.
He's stout, dude.
Yeah.
He's solid.
He hit people, and because that was one of the tests for me. He made a run early, and it wasn't anything special, but it's just like one of those shake-offs that he had against
Mhm.
Washington. I was like, oh, it's gonna be tough for them.
Yeah.
That's, there's just little things that happen in the game. You're like, oh, it's gonna be real tough.
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
they're real strong
Yeah.
up there.
yeah.
That's
The-
real strong.
The run after when they were playing Ohio State, and is it Zach Zinter was their lineman that went down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the run after he went down, where he scored a touchdown, I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, Blake's that guy.
Yeah.
He's, I mean, he's been that guy at Michigan for a few years now, but
Honestly, he really has. He was a Heisman finalist. What? Not last year, but 2 years ago.
I think last year.
Last year.
Was it last year?
He was it was him, Marvin.
And who? Because it was Jaden Daniels this year. Last year it was Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
So it would have been Caleb,
Blake.
Marvin, Blake, and I think there was one other quarterback. I don't remember who the other.
By the way, Caleb Williams, man, he's been making some noise, not in the best way in this draft combine. He's been like he won't get medical tests out.
He's not throwing.
He's not throwing.
Great segue. Go ahead. Keep going.
Well, that's my segue. Feel free to tag on.
So that's where I was going to go. I was going to ask you guys. So Brock didn't test anything.
I don't think he has to.
No, he doesn't have to. Caleb has zero reason to test anything.
Especially
Drake May has zero reason to test anything. I don't know if Jaden or Drake even did interviews. I don't know if any of the top three are going to do interviews.
None of them threw. I know that much.
Yeah, nobody threw, tested anything.
Oh,
Do you guys think as a product, like for viewers, like, I mean, I watched this at a Mexican restaurant last night, and I was sitting there chowing down on some queso and quesadillas and whatever else. And I was telling my little nephew, he didn't really understand, but I was like, this is one of my favorite pastimes. I love eating like a fatso and judging college athletes on their athleticism. Like, you could run faster. You got to be a little stronger if you're a running back. That's one of my favorite pastimes.
Yeah.
As a college ball fan,
Teaching your little nephew.
you'd be like, listen, buddy, one day you're
that
gonna judge these actual kids for no reason at all, and you're gonna get mad. And it's gonna ruin your day, and then you're gonna grow up and be like, wow, I was really dumb. The fact that like Tennessee football losing ruined like weekends. You're like, man, I'm not going out. I'm not gonna hang out with my friends. And you know what? You're going to regret those days, but you're still going to judge them every time when they get up there. Like, well, you probably should run faster if you want to get a higher draft pick. You know, like one of my favorite pastimes. So, anyways, do you think that hurts viewership? Because I think more and more people are going to be like, well, I've already got some money now with NIL. Are the top 10 guys, if they sit, how much does that ruin your product?
As far as how much does it ruin their draft stock?
No, how much does it ruin like the combine itself, like the numbers? Like if they don't show up.
I never watched the combine.
Yeah, I don't think the combine's ever been for guys like that, to be honest.
Really?
I think the combine is for JJ McCarthy. It's for guys like that.
Yeah.
It's for like Marvin Harrison Jr. could have rolled out to the combine in a clown suit and dropped every ball, and people would have been like, yeah, I don't care. He's still a number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think it's those top 10 picks, those like guaranteed top 10 picks that you've seen their film, you've seen them play against other high level players. I don't think the combine's ever been for them.
Yeah, you're right. A combine is to try to help the folks who just get overshadowed.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of people who play football.
Yep.
And there's a lot of, was it 300 schools play football or something crazy like that? I mean, so you're right. It's for them.
Yeah.
So I don't think people are watching it for. That's what I'm saying. I've never sat down and watched the combine. I know you have, but I'm more of a casual football.
I'm a loser. I like it.
That's all right, man. You have Mexican cheese cake, queso fresco.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to El Agave over there by Walmart.
Sounds incredible,
dude. It was so good.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's all I want to eat tonight. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I was really happy. Hannah got off the plane yesterday, and she was like, "I really could go for some Mexican." I was like, "Have I ever told you how much I love you?"
You've been missing her, man.
Yeah, man. Me and G have just been living the life of instant mashed potatoes, grilled meats, and bag salad.
The bachelor diet 101.
Yeah. I never understood that. I was like, honey, what's wrong with literally grilled chicken, broccoli, and rice? Like, why can't you be fine with that?
It's nutritious.
It fills up all the core values.
It's steady.
And it's like, no, that just sounds wow. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But anyway, I hope she's not listening to that.
Oh boy, you're gonna get roasted for that. Hey G, why don't you make that one a reel for us? We appreciate that one.
But no, I enjoy the combine. Like I enjoy watching clips from the combine. Like I don't want to sit and watch it from start to finish. But like if I'm scrolling Twitter and I see so and so did so many reps, like especially high profile players. Like for me, I'll check in on a lot of the Georgia players. Obviously,
that's where I was gonna go. That's thanks to Twitter, we have like, hey, Williams is gonna be running, or who's gonna be somebody's gonna be going here. Any Tennessee player like in the last couple of years, like, hey, they'll be up in 5 minutes. So
I did watch Milton throw.
Yeah,
I did watch him throw. I just want
he's a spectacle. Like
watching him throw was like awesome. Like he throws like 80 yards.
He's gonna dupe somebody. He
sure is.
He can throw the ball 90 yards, and some GM's gonna fall in love with him. And
we can fix him. Yeah, they're like a broken girl. I hate to say
we can teach him to throw intermediate routes. We can do this.
Believe me. No, you can't.
You can't.
But not everybody watches the Tennessee Vols as much as y'all.
Nope.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, it blows my mind. Like as a scout, what people think you should know, but it's like try watching the NFL every week, and then try watching all of college football intently. You can't do it, man. There's just too much volume. They're not going to know Tennessee players like we are. Like that's why, like in the betting world, like people get duped because you're like, well, I know Carolina, or I know Tennessee, or I know Baylor better than these weird Tuesday night lines or whatever. And that's how people do well with their own teams. And then it's kind of the same way with the draft. You're like, well, I know this guy can make a play. And then sure, that gets picked up, and these guys start looking at film in March and whatnot. And you're like, well, they act like they know, but they don't really know.
They don't watch. I mean, they're watching a couple games of like
they're fast forwarding on YouTube TV.
It's very quick. I mean, they got a whole roster of people they're trying to get through, and they don't get like, when's the actual draft? It's in like
April.
It's in April. So you have 1 month to get through all of your position players that you think you need, and then all the people whom you think you can may or may not fall to you.
Yeah.
And then you got to shift through all the people who, it's just a lot of people to go through.
It's a lot. And then I know now these staffs are incredible in the NFL. Yeah. Like the amount of volume they have for, like the other day, I was looking at the San Francisco 49ers just upgraded their passing defensive coordinator to full-time DC. But he was also the slot cornerback coach. I was like, we get that specific now? Like there's like slot cornerback coach, there's slot receiver coach.
With the evolution of the passing game, man.
It just shows how like expertise, man. I mean, I know like in my field, I mean, there's like little itty bitty niche experts on everything. And now sports is feeling the same way. I mean, it's
the analytics era of football. I mean, it's the same reason you see those graphics on ESPN that's like, go for it, don't go for it.
What's Moneyball, dude? Yeah. Moneyball started all this.
That's what's so crazy about it. Somebody was talking about that the other day, and I mean, you're even seeing it like down in the levels. I mean, like at the NAI conference basketball tournament I was at this weekend, like there's a team up in University of Pikeville, and they have like their coaching staff is like they have one guy for your inbounds play. They have one guy that's defense. Like their coach gives them a lot of free reign, and they're really good. I mean, they're a good NAI basketball program, and so they keep kind of pumping these championships out, and they keep going to the national tournament because they keep getting coaches that are like, oh, I'm going to have like this crazy freedom. It is yours to delegate this inbounds play. This, you are the full court press guy when this needs to happen. Like you set these up, and it's like, whoa, staffs are getting real specific.
Yeah.
And you can make your headway by doing that.
Gotta love it though. I mean, that gives us something to talk about.
Heck yeah. I love it, dude. Because you want to nerd out about this stuff. Gosh, can you nerd out more than ever now?
Deep in analytics about teams and what they do on this situation and that situation. It's a rabbit hole.
I mean, I already saw it today. I mean, it was LeBron hit 40,000.
Oh my God.
He's officially at 40,000 points.
Yep.
And I mean, it was going down within a minute of finding out Twitter or X all over the place. Just like, yeah, if you played 20 seasons, you'd have to average 20 X points a game and play a minimum of 62 games to reach this. And it's like all of it. I mean, it's like, how do you even count? It's just, it goes so fast now.
Oh yeah, it's just there. Well, it's people are calculating it live as the game goes on.
I know.
Mhm.
So
That's what I'm saying.
fun fact about the LeBron: it's the same day that Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points.
I saw that.
No,
March
I didn't see
2nd.
that.
March 2nd.
I did
March
not see
2nd.
that.
68, I think. Was
Yeah.
was
And then
when Wilt scored 100.
March 2nd. Oh, wow. And then today, Clark passed Pistol Pete for most college points ever, which is wild. That's one. That was a record.
Weird.
I did not think that
Caitlin
was ever
Clark,
going to get
yeah,
passed.
Yeah, she's insane, dude.
I got. So I was a Pistol Pete fan growing up. You know, my dad, Ed, shout out to Ed. You know, he raised me a Pistol Pete fan. Decades after Pistol Pete passed away.
Man, that pistol moves.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie?
Oh, dog.
Oh,
Come on
dude,
now.
yeah. I have shirts. I got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, he only played 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Averaged 44 points a game, man.
And no,
He was in 03s, and he was a freshman. And he played on the freshman team. Honestly, they didn't like back in the day. You can't play as freshmen couldn't play varsity.
That's right.
So he only played. I mean, I'm gonna be a hated man if people are just like, oh, you're taking away something great from. No, Caitlin Clark deserves every credit for breaking something that's insanely hard to reach. But it's hard to any stat. It's hard to compare it to what the guys did back then.
Yeah. And it's all relative. Like,
It's all relative.
yeah, because, you know, you put, honestly, like just size wise and stuff, you put any above average player back then, they're probably going to be pretty dang good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you even, if you put we'll just say somebody like Triple J from Tennessee, you put him back there, you boys going to be All American every year.
Yeah.
But it's just different.
It's different now. But no, that is a wild stat. Caitlin Clark beats Pistol Pete all time.
Mhm.
LeBron James puts up 40K the same night that
Wilt scored 100.
it's like that's written somewhere, man. I mean,
Dude.
This is GT's conspiracy time, man. It's like
It's scripted.
it's
almost.
like they said, hey, this is the day we're all gonna do it.
Yeah. It's so weird.
LeBron, we can't put up more than 28 points today.
Also, like scoring now, it's so much easier. Because of a little bit, not so much easier. It's easier because the defense is like not being able to crowd you as much. But defensive players have gotten better because they're more athletic. But also, shot making is just light years different. Light years different. Like guys made weird shots back then, but they didn't make tough shots. Clark makes tough shots, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, she's a beast. She
She's
played with the boys, I think,
Oh,
almost
yeah.
all the way up until high school or something like that. Like she played on a boys team.
Yeah, did I tell y'all about there's a Ryan Russillo's podcast. I don't know if you guys ever listened to it.
I've heard of.
So Russillo,
clips
you know,
and-
Russillo
yeah,
and SVP
yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Russillo. He does a segment called Life Advice, and it's like a lot of, you know, he's a pickup guy, pickup basketball player, and he kind of jokes about that. So these people write in, whatever. Like, hey, just want to fill y'all in. Caitlin Clark, like I actually played because, you know, there's a lot of dudes out there like, dude, I would roast Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
No, dog, you wouldn't. So
No.
this guy was telling me, he wrote in, and he was like, listen, I live in Des Moines, and Clark would come run, and, you know, he's like, listen, we got a lot of guys that played D1 or D2, NAIA, and we have 1 or 2 guys that played small D1, and she gets buckets. He's like, you know, she's like when the elites are out there, it's tougher, but she's still one of the best 2 or 3 players on the court at all times.
She can hold her own.
Oh,
yeah, and also he was like, he even framed it like, hey, these also are 25-year-old men. These aren't just college players. So it's just like they're just a lot stronger, you know? So like there's just little things like that. But for your everyday average Joe, bro, you ain't walking up. Like if you're an XD1 player, probably. I'll give you that.
Mhm.
But us, heck no,
Oh, she's
bro.
cooking.
Oh, we're not
cooking.
we're not
She's
doing any
cooking.
damage
I'm getting
on
skunked.
any WNBA.
No,
I would
she's-
say even a lot of the D1 girls, dude, we're not even competing with them.
I'm gonna throw myself out of this conversation. I
No.
can't do anything with a basketball. I couldn't beat like a 5-year-old in basketball. I'm just not. I'm out.
That breaks my heart.
It's just never been my thing, man. It's
You know how
never,
short 5-year-olds are?
yeah.
Joseph,
I
you're
fully
like
understand.
you're like 6'2".
I understand it, dude. I'm telling you. You ever see me pick up a basketball? You just be like, listen, buddy, just stop. Like,
That's
you
how-
just grab it and be like, okay,
That's
this
how I feel
ain't-
about golf
this
too.
ain't anything.
Don't worry.
Like soccer I was much better at that than basketball. I tried basketball. I had numerous people tell me like, yeah, you should play. You're tall. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing, man. Yeah, there's certain sports where it's like you have to actually have like certain mechanics.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You do
Obviously,
need that.
I mean, obviously, but
Yeah.
you can get away with being a track athlete and a football player.
Well, boys, y'all got anything else?
No, man, we just chatted it up. I think that was a good one.
That was good. That was fun.
That was a lot of
Good
fun.
link. Camera's still live. I was
Hey,
gonna say
shout your camera, baby.
Gonna say we're at about. It says we're at 1 hour and 5, but I know that takes some time off that.
We were dusty at first. That's all right. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Thursday for a live show. Y'all have a wonderful week. Say something nice to somebody. What else did G say? A lot of good positive stuff.
G talks a lot. So anyway, peace.
You gotta get out.
We love you. Bye.